And we're back. For those of you guys that are just tuning in, this is Free Speech with Moett. And of course, I am Moett. You can follow me everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anything that's anything. That's IamMoett. That's IamMoett. And today, I have an interview with Kayshine.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm great. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Let them know where they can follow you at, all that good stuff.
Alright, so my name is Kayshine Santana. You know, I'm right now I'm big on social media, so you can follow me on Instagram. That's at KAYSHINE Santana. Check out all my music. Right now, it's out on all platforms. You can look me up on YouTube, Spotify, you know, all the mainstream sites. Check me out. Tropical season out right now.
Okay, nice, super dope. So I know you said that you're an artist, different things like that. So how long have you been doing music?
I've been doing music for a while. I started recording songs like maybe back in middle school, early days in middle school. You know, I was born in New York, so I kind of just started writing my first raps to like my favorite songs. I take the instrumentals to those. I used to write raps to it and put it on MySpace. This was way back in the MySpace days. But I never used to tell people I used to record music. So I used to just record it, put it out on MySpace, and then people that I didn't know would be like, yo, this is kind of good. Then one day I was in school and somebody came up to me and was like, yo, I heard your music on MySpace. And I was like, what? Like, maybe if it's all right, then maybe I can do this. So I just you know, been taking it from there.
That's dope. So what is like your goal as far as your music career goes?
I mean, really right now my goal is just, you know, just making money. I do it for the fun, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like to, to be really independent doing this, you know, it really takes a lot of money behind it. That's a big, major investment that you really got to be prepared for, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really in it for the fun, but you know what I mean, I want to have my business all together, so where like, there's a lot of artists that makes money not being a mainstream artist, but just having your business together, you can control your streams and your income and stuff like that, and still be able to make money from music.
Right.
So that's my overall goal, you know, just to be able to control and own what I do and make some type of money from it, and not be in a position to where it's like setting myself back trying to make some type of investment in a career that's not gonna pan out for more than a few years or something like that.
Right. That's very smart. I know a lot of artists, different artists do different stuff, like having their music played on background in movies, TV shows, and different. But all of that, like you said, it comes into the business side of things, knowing your business. And so whenever it comes to like knowing your business on the back end, do you handle all of that, or do you outsource that, or like how do you do that?
For me, I handle that all of my own. You know, I don't really have no manager or anybody that's kind of like overproofing or reading anything or anything like that, setting me up with stuff. I kind of do it all on my own. But even if you did, I feel like you still kind of need to be hands-on with it. You don't want somebody else just overlooking all your business. You know what I mean? You got to have a mindset for it too. You know, so it goes both ways. You got to know what's going on.
Right. So outside of music, what all do you do?
Outside of music, I'm into you know, just marketing. You know what I mean? I'm kind of getting into some real estate right now. You know what I mean? And you know, just working on my financial incomes. You know what I mean? Trying to make different streams of income.
That's dope. So as far as like creating different streams of income, do you have like anything substantially that you do outside of music?
Outside of music, making money wise, I mainly just be driving, you know what I mean, between Ubering and CDL, just transportation, you know what I mean. I'm really just driving, mainly on the road. That's really how I be having a clear mind. I be thinking, coming up with some of my songs or just whatever, just time to have space away from people, you know what I mean?
That's dope. So you have a CDL. So as far as like, I know I was talking to a trucker a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me like about where I wouldn't have to drive to be able to hire someone and different things like that. Like, you actually have your CDL, but outside of that, like, would you, how can I say this? Like, would you create like a trucking company to be able to like have your own trucks on the road and different things like that?
I would, but it's just, you know, I mean, yeah, I would. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't, but you know what I mean? It's just, starting your own company is like starting your own thing with company with anybody. Just having employees that's reliable, and you know what I mean. I don't really, where I'm at right now, I don't really think I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna go as hard as what I'm doing for it. You know what I mean. So I'm trying to secure and go as hard as I can for myself, and then I could kind of, because most of the time I tell somebody how to do it, but even if I tell you, you're not gonna put in the same amount of work as me. So I wouldn't, you know what I mean. If I just started, I'd just be doing it myself.
Okay. You know what I mean? That's dope. That's dope. I mean, a lot of things you got to start out by yourself.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey started out by herself. Steve Harvey started out by himself. Tyler Perry started out by himself.
When you try to plan stuff with people, sometimes it just don't go right. You know
yeah, because everybody doesn't be on the same page.
Yeah,
so
different opinions.
I definitely understand.
It be all over the place.
So let's see. I know you mentioned real estate.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts and ideas in regards to real estate?
So right now I'm renting an apartment in Midtown. And I've been there for a little while. It's nice. It's roughly about $1,500 a month. Mm-hmm. So, but for this price, feel like you could be kind of staying anywhere. You know what I mean? You can be in a house or whatever type of condo or whatever, you know, setting it up. But at the same time, you don't want to just keep paying rent to somebody else. Yeah. At some point in time, you want to be owning something. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Just kind of like getting my first property to own, and then being able to rent it out. Like I've helped and watched my parents do it, and you know what I mean, they kind of just teaching me the game, how to get a spot, fix it up, you know what I mean, rent it out, move it on to the next.
Right. So in regards to that, like once you actually do secure property and different things like that, would you sublease your place, or would you like put different places on Airbnb, different things like that? How would you handle that?
I would more look to sublease it first, you know, for long term, but you can, depending on your location, Airbnb is good too, though. You know what I mean? Especially if you have the right place for it. Definitely in the right location. Airbnbs always make some good money.
Okay. So in reference to like your music, different things like that, do you have like any major projects coming up that you're currently working on, or?
Right now I'm working on some visuals. So I have plenty of music that's out right now. What I've been slipping on is having visuals out there. You know, I'm trying to get a good relationship with videographers, and I don't want to be. I mean, sometimes you do kind of gotta be all over the place, and not to say all over the place, but network with a lot of people. Yeah. The more people you network and touch hands with, you know what I mean, the more people that see you and touch your stuff. So basically, while the summertime is going on, just getting more visuals out, and just, you know, people like to hear it, but seeing it is something different too.
Right. So whenever it comes to your career, how important would you say that consistency is, and promoting yourself and different things like that?
That's number one, I want to say. If not number one, it's number two on the list. It's just as good as your talent. If you have good stuff, you know, you need to promote it, because it's easy to get overlooked. Because you got so many people doing so many different things, and, you know, it's real easy to get overlooked. Or it's easy to fall out of the rhythm that you're in, you know what I mean? To be great, you got to be consistent and do it repeatedly, time and time and time again.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? If you fall off and start losing it, somebody else will be the came in and passed you, because they just put in more work than you did.
Right, right.
You know?
So what would you say about like the way the music industry is today? Like, you know, with how a lot of people feel like we've lost hip hop, different things like that. What is your take on that subject?
I do think hip hop has went to a different turn. You know, it's not. The message is different. I can say that. The overall message is different, but the message has been lost. It wasn't really, you know, everybody kind of took it and just grasped and went their own kind of direction with it. It's not really a sense of direction how it was kind of before, you know, with the older generation, I think. You know.
Do you think it would be a way to like bring it, like they have their own things of saying things and their own thing of presenting their story and telling their life and different things like that. Do you think it would be like a way for people to kind of like bring that old sense back of like actually having a clear direction and a clear focus on like bringing the people in unity and different things like that, actually having solidified messages to be able to like teach the people, kind of say?
That's a good question, but through music, I don't know, because I feel like in hip hop, what I see or what I hear in hip hop is when artists get older, and when you at the point in life where you do have this wisdom and you're able to, tell and teach people something, don't nobody really want to hear that from you in the rapping, in the music. I see people better off, if you just talking, maybe from a podcast point of view, or just, knowing somebody, or they just respecting you from some stuff that you've been through. But it seems like, they kind of washed up in the, you know what I mean? But it's still possible. I just don't think there's many people that do it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is possible though, but it's not many people that do it. Everybody just kind of stays out the way, don't really touch on too many touchy situations, but some things you do gotta stay away from.
Right. So with your music career and everything, like a lot of times, like I say that your network equals your net worth and everything like that. So what is your take on like networking and, like you said, like brushing hands with different people so more people are able to see your stuff? Like how important would you say that ranks, and what is your take on that?
That's very important, because a lot of people will get to a point where they're just comfortable being where they're at. That's like, I know some people that may go to the same place or the same few places, and you're in the same area, and these people might know you in this area, but if you go down the street over here, nobody know you over here. Right. So you kind of have to branch out and be seen by everybody. You know what I mean? Music is kind of, everyone that's in you just got to promote it to everyone. You know what I mean? People that like it will grasp and come to it, but you got to be out there and put yourself out there.
Right. So whenever it comes to music, I know you're independent right now, but would you sign with someone if you were presented the right opportunity? And if so, what would be the right opportunity, you think?
Yeah, I definitely would sign with somebody, because I'm not independently putting money behind myself, but it has to make sense though, you know what I mean? I don't just want to do it just because somebody put money in front of my face, because you might have a crazy type of contract or something like that. But nah, I definitely do it though, you know what I mean? That works. For everybody's different, you know what I mean? But I definitely do it, with the right person, or the right amount of money and the right opportunities that they can market me and give me that I can't do for myself. I'll definitely do that. It's a business deal.
So would you say, so with your music, I'm pretty sure like your music, different things like that, you have a team, a certain group of people that you work with in regards to like producing, in regards to getting things done, studio time and different things like that. Mm-hmm. How would you say it is to somebody that is just starting out, like how to create their own team, or how to actually get things done and make those connections to be able to make the things happen that you've been able to make happen?
Just the people around you kind of just have to play a role, somewhere along the way I noticed that I just, have to alleviate myself or alleviate the people around that's not benefiting, or that's not bringing something to what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So if my friend is around and we're in the studio, somebody needs to have a phone or recording me, or someone needs to be learning how to do the studio stuff, or making some context of where we can send the music or do something. Be proactive, you know what I mean? I think sometimes along the lines people get distracted and fall off and out because of the people that they have around them just doing any type of things that's not beneficial to what the real goal is.
Right. So whenever it comes to like those people that you have around you, how important would you say that it is for those people to be able to be like you said, proactive, handling things, doing things like that? And how do you handle it whenever you see that someone is not like up to the level that you feel like they do? Do you sit down and have a conversation with them, or just how do you handle that?
You can, but it's got to be in them. You can't force nobody to do nothing. So don't try to do that neither. They gotta show the initiative that they want to do it, and most of the time that'll just happen. Like you can just sit back and see what people is doing. The people that want to be around, they'll give themselves a reason to be around. The people that's just lollygagging here for the party and the bull crap, like they'll make that be known too. And if you really serious about what you got going on, it ain't gonna be hard to cut them off. Like, it ain't gotta be like not being around, but it's just different when it comes to being from when it's business time and when it's playing time.
Right.
Gotta separate, be able to separate that.
Fact. So whenever it comes to like your business, different things like that, like what is the question I'm trying to ask? Like, what is your expectations like over the next 5 years or so? Like, and how important is it for you to be able to like go along with the times as far as changing? Because music is forever evolving. Like, the same music that we used to listen to 3 years ago isn't the same way that it is today. Yeah. So how important is it to be able to anticipate that change and be able to flow with that as far as like in your studio time, different things like that within your music?
You know, I think you should always listen to, you know, the trends and see what's going on, and, you know, the sounds that's out right, you know, at the current times. But, you know, I really try not to be too involved, because I think I don't want that type of stuff to take away from your creative side. Well, at least for me, my creative side. You know, I like, I feel like I have a different sound in music than what's currently being played for the streams. You know, there's a certain sound that's out, and I wouldn't try to change what I do a little bit to fit what's going on, if that makes sense. I just, you know, I kind of be staying in my lane. I make a little tweaks to make it, you know, current to what it is, but at the end of the day, you gotta just go out what you're comfortable with, you know what I mean? Real important. So it's bigger than, you know, anybody can go to the studio and record a song, you know, and then what, you know, like, if it's not, most people don't even own anything about the song, like paying for the beats. That's a big part of it, you know what I mean? Having your copyright stuff together, like you say, your BMI, ASCAPs, and all those type of things, and just having things in your stuff in order to be registered so you can make money. Like, you can do that yourself. You don't need nobody to do any of that for you. But nobody's not gonna tell you that.
Right.
You have to be serious about what you're doing and look it up. But you don't need nobody to do any of that stuff for you. All you need is your phone and computer. You can do all of that stuff. Yeah,
they do say that knowledge is free. Knowledge is free, but a lot of people don't do the due diligence of that, and that's how they end up in these BS contracts or dealing with all these headaches and different type of people. Yeah. So to someone that's just getting started out, what would you tell them, like, the first step that they need to take?
Being consistent in the studio and making good music. That's first, because everything else will fall in line if you're doing that. If you just always in the studio and working on your craft, it's gonna get better. And always be thinking about the next song. People will record a song and then they'll stop recording because they want everybody to go hear this song. But most artists, they're already on to the next. And most people, they have short attention spans. So once they hear one thing, it's over with. Like, what's next? They want to hear what's the next thing you got coming. So you gotta always stay consistent and don't let that stop you. Don't let that slow you down. Just know that people always gonna look for what's next.
Right. So definitely, what would you say to your younger self, like right now, as far as like with the things that you know now, the things that you went through now, different stuff like that? What would you say to your younger self?
Man, if I could tell my younger self anything, it would be to stay focused and not get distracted by people. Don't let people come in your life and distract you from what you got going on. You know, sometimes, a lot of times, people make decisions in their life based on other people, and sometimes these people not really meant to be in your life. So, you know, and then you end up wasting time of your life that you can never get back. So, definitely, I would tell my younger self just to learn from that, just to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Selfish when it comes down to myself, you know, and just look out for myself quicker than I'm trying to look out for the next person.
Yeah, it's definitely important to put you first regardless. And it's sad we got to go through a lot in life before we actually learn that. But definitely just let the people know, like, what you have coming up. If you have any events coming up, let the people know where to find you, who you are, different things like that.
Alright, so yeah, right now, like I said, the mixtape Capricorn season is out right now, so this summer is gonna be some new visuals coming. I got some new music coming soon, you know what I'm saying? So you could definitely be on the lookout for that. And just stay in tune, definitely. So the visuals coming, new music is coming, and going up. I got the Capricorn season merch out too right now, so the website will be coming soon. But right now, y'all can hit me on Instagram, Kayshine Santana. You can get some merch and some free music.